Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. This is going to be a channel where I honestly just talk about any and everything that comes to my mind because that's what I'm good for. And I've always had people constantly telling me, you know, you should write a book or you should start a YouTube channel. And this was like years ago and I just never did it because I'm me. So I do a lot of procrastinating and a lot of ifing and butting and wondering. But thank you for stopping by, and I hope you enjoy what you see. So this video, I actually just wanted to talk about something that I've noticed during quarantine. So I've been practicing quarantining very much so from Jump Street, you know, when everything really and truly was brought to everyone's attention, and you know, when everybody went to lockdown, and so I'm still very much in quarantine. I know some people, some cities, restrictions have been lifted. My city my city's currently still actually in stage 2, but there's other areas in the province where they're in stage 3, and so of course there's still regulations, but you know, not everybody's practicing them. But I still, of course, you know, only go to places that are essential to my needs, and then, you know, washing hands, and you know, of course, social distancing, and of course I've been washing my hands from before. Like, that's not something I need to be taught. Like, you know, that's just like part of general hygienic practices. But something that I've been noticing though, as I just said, you know, you're going out for your essentials, like going to the grocery store, something like that. I've just been noticing a lot of thirsty men. I've been noticing like a lot of lonely men. Like, I feel like this pandemic has shown just how lonely men are, and just how much as men like to fake in front and act like they don't need us, they need us. I really feel like if there's something that you want to say that you got out of this pandemic, like, which of course we got a lot of things out of it, I won't get into that, that's a whole other topic for a whole other day, but definitely, like, it really shined a whole light on dudes. And I just been noticing a lot of like the thirst, and it's been extra and just crazy to me. Like, I've really been thrown all the way off, because I'm just like, people are dying, you know, people are getting real sick, people are out of work, people are fretting about, you know, how they're gonna make ends meet, how they're gonna pay for this, how they're gonna keep a roof over their head, all kinds of things. And there's like dudes out here, and no shade, there's some women out here like that too, but there's dudes out here who's just like looking for somebody to keep their bed warm, and I'm like, you don't even know if you're gonna be here tomorrow. Like, does that really matter? But I'm just like going all the way to the grocery store, and I'm like, you know, you got your full mask on, you know, I said I had like hoodie on, my hair wrapped, because sometimes I just wrap my hair because I'm just like, I'm not even about to do my hair, like I'm literally going across the street to the grocery store, it ain't even that deep. And I'm seeing dude like trying to holla and just, you know, and honking horn and all kinds of stuff, and I usually like, I keep it all the way pushing, because I'm like, don't be honking at me, like that's a high-key rude. But it was like, okay, you know, he was saying something and I didn't know what he was saying. So I know sometimes people ask me for directions and stuff, so I didn't know what he was saying, so I was just like, what, you know, and blah blah blah. And he was like, oh, I get your number and stuff, and and I'm just like, you know, I didn't really want to, I never really want to talk to these people, not when it, like, that's the setting, you know, I'm just really trying to pick up some groceries real quick. But you know, me, and I know like a lot of other women, you know, we can relate to this, you know, of course, you know, you're gonna give your number because it's always the safer option. As scary and as sad as that is in this world, it's always a safer bet. You know, you always hear about women being not only harassed if you say no to a guy, but also women being injured or hurt or something like that just because, you know, some man couldn't take no for an answer. So it's always safer to just give the number and then block the lead afterwards or whatever, float your boat. Because I know too, these dudes, you can't even give them fake numbers no more. These dudes from time, they've been like, they just boop, 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 and they just call you on the fly, like right there to make sure this is your number, because you know, some girls be giving fakes. And it's like, well, isn't that your cue? Maybe like they really not that interested in you, and just to keep it pushing. Anyways, back to the story with this dude. So I gave him my number or whatever, and I was just like, okay. And like, he was like asking where I'm going, and I don't know if he was trying to follow or whatever, but it was like, yo, pump your brakes and mind your business. So went to go do my thing. It didn't take him no time before he hit me up, this is my number, and trying to carry conversation. Okay, cool, true. It was actually Mother's Day, And so he was trying to link, like he was trying to talk, and I was like thrown all the way off again, because I was like, it's Mother's Day, like no, I'm not gonna be sitting on the phone or flexing with you or anything like that. Like, I'm spending time with my mom, and I was hooking up her game and stuff, because my mom loves The Sims, so I bought her like 2 of the expansion packs so she could, you know, play. And he was just doing all this stuff. So I'm just like, are you not like gonna spend time with your mom? And he's like, oh yeah, like half an hour. Like, I wasn't buying what he was selling. I just felt like he was saying that after the fact, because I was obviously like, why are you not spending time with your mother? Like, why is you trying to holla at a woman you don't know? And so I was just like, whatever. So that was like kind of like the thirst, right? Is who's gonna bump their mom for a stranger? Like, that's like crazy to me. And I don't believe it's anything where it's just like, oh, he doesn't have a good relationship with his mom. Like, no, I don't know, but like, trust, like, it was just thirst. And so then after that, like, he would like message me late in the night, and then the next day, and he would always like say a like a 1-2 and be like, call me, you know, hi, how are you, call me. And I'd be like, why are you asking me to call you, right? Because I'm just like, you are linking me, you're hitting me up on my phone. Like, a decent person would just pick up the phone and call. So he was like saying whatever like nonsensical excuse, and I was like, whatever, dude. And he'd always be like, hey sweetie, hi sweetie, how are you? And be texting like noon, like on the dot, 12 p.m. on the dot, hi sweetie. And I'm like, why are you calling me these things? You don't know me from Eve, you know what I mean? I could be a Delilah, like, please stop. So I had to bring that to his attention too, and he was all bad as shape about it, because I'm like, don't call me that, like, I have a name, right? And it's not sweetie. But he was just being like real thirsty and real extra, because I'm just like, in the call me, like moving like a catty. And I'm like, why are you trying to flex like a woman? Like, you're a dude, you're supposed to be making the calls, like act like a man, right? Like, I like a man's man. So from the moment you not a man's man, like, I'm good. But then like, he was just being real extra. Then he started like trying to play like mind games. Like, it was really weird, because then he started to try to like do the whole like message me and like say something and then disappear for 2-3 hours and then pop back up. And it was just like, it was just really weird. And he was just trying to act too much like, I don't know what he was doing, to be honest. And I don't even want to try to infer what was going on in his mind. All I knew was that he was way immature for his age. Like, he was grown as hell. Like, he was older than me. He was 35. Like, he was grown. So it was just like, I don't have time for the childishness, and I don't have time for you looking for like a text bae or whatever it is you're looking for, because we were even talking at one point, and then he was like, oh, you know, he was saying something. I don't know if he was trying to call me beautiful or something like that. And yeah, he tried to call me like beautiful or something like that. And I was just like, you don't even know what I look like. And he's like, no, I don't. So I was like, how could you be calling me beautiful? I'm like, I had a whole mask on. Like I said, I'm like, I had my head wrapped, you know, I had a hoodie on. So I'm like, how do you even know what I look like? And like, I was talking about this stuff with my eldest sister and my mom, because she was like noticing and talking about like how thirsty these guys are, like constantly trying to holler and trying to hit on you during a pandemic. And my mom was just like, oh, maybe they can see your eyes, and maybe they think your eyes are pretty. And it was just like, no, these dudes just think that these girls have, you know, some women have low self-esteem, and they just think like any compliment is like, oh my God, something to marvel in. And I'm like, no, like, that's not me. Like, that's not me. You telling me I'm pretty or beautiful, like, does nothing, absolutely nothing for me. But I just don't think outer beauty has like this huge weight. Like, it's just, especially coming from dudes, like, how many times do you run that line to a woman? How many times? Whatever. But so it was a mess. He was a mess. He started on some foolishness, so I had to immediately hit him with that block delete, because I was getting flashbacks, which is like, this dude has issues and I can see where this is going, so let me just make sure it goes nowhere. And then I had this other instance with this next dude. This next dude, he's a throwback dude. Like, he's this dude I went to high school with who I did not know. I'd only seen him in the hallways, and like, he never spoke to me. We never had classes. And, you know, at first he was talking to me and everything, you know, seemed okay. Because, you know, sometimes people will like hit you up on social media, you know, throwbacks, and they want to like talk and go down memory lane a little bit or whatever, right? So I'm like, I have no problem with that. Like, that's cool, right? As long as you're like decent, you're cool people, so that's cool. I don't mind. I don't have a problem with that. But then like, he was trying to like get real familiar, and he was trying to like holla and wanting me to meet up with him and asking where I live. And I'm like, I don't tell nobody where I live. Like, that's fine, you want to tell me where you live because you just want to, like, you know, give information. But I'm like, I don't tell nobody. I'm like, especially I don't tell no man, because a lot of men are crazy. I don't care. A lot of men are crazy. And I'm like, I'm not letting no man know. Like, I've been stalked before. I've been accosted before. I've been harassed. I've been, like, all kinds of things. Those are stories for other days. So I'm like, not telling nobody where I live. So I was just like, yeah, I live, you know, over here, like this area that, like, I don't even live close to, whatever. He was like, oh, you know, we can meet up and we can go do this, that, and the third. And I'm like, we're in the middle of a pandemic. Like, no, I'm not meeting up with anybody to do anything. Like, no, I'm just like, I'm not gonna risk my health or, you know, the health of those around me, like, to go meet up with a stranger, because essentially that's who he is. And I'm a stranger to him too. Like I said, he'd never spoken to me, you know, even though he's telling me, like, you know, I've always had a crush on you. I had a crush on you for the longest since high school. And I'm just like, you've never said 2 words to me, to be honest, not once. But I'm like, okay, that's cool. Like, thanks. Like, I don't know. Then he started, like, just constantly, like, you know, call me, let me, like, I wouldn't go on this social media. Like, I don't go on social media that much. And I definitely didn't, like, I don't use this one that much. It's just, it's boring to me. It's whatever. And so, but I had the window open because I was using some information that was on it. Somebody had posted some pertinent information that I need in my life. And so it was on this social media. And so I was like, I just left the window open. So, you know, when you leave the window open, it looks like you're online, but you're not online. So I don't get the messages. I don't see it, whatever. Except for if I sometimes hear like this, boop, you know, you hear like the little signal to say there's a sound, like there's a message. And he was just like, let me talk to you. I want to get to know you. Talk to me. And I was just like, because I'm like, first of all, I didn't even know anybody was messaging me, because I tell everybody if I do get messages, I let them know, like, oh, my bad, like, I didn't hail you, because I'm like, I don't get my messages on here because I don't use this social media. And so I was just like thrown off, because I'm like, why is this dude acting like me and him are anything? Like, we don't know each other. Like, what's with the, you know, I want to talk to you. Like, what's with the begging? Like, you not Keith Sweat. Why you begging? Then he's like talking whatever. So I just said whatever. I let him know, like, nah, like, I can't, like, I have a lot of personal things going on in my life right now. I don't have time for anything. And I'm like, and I really do have a lot of personal things going on in my life that maybe somewhere down the line I'll share. But I'm like, I don't have time to really talk to anybody or to do much. Like, my life is just really, really consumed right now. And he's just like, oh, I understand, but still, like, you know, you should give me a chance. Give me a chance. So I'm like, give you a chance for what? So he's like, oh, friendship. So I'm just like, you know, like, I'm busy. Like, I don't have time for friends right now. And he was just going on. Like, he was not taking no for an answer. This man has, like, 4 or 5 children, and he has like multiple baby mamas. Like, I'm not interested. Like, I'm not interested any which way. And I know obviously he's lying to be a friend. Who's out here really begging friends like that? If you begging friends, child, I don't know. You shouldn't be begging for companionship either, but definitely not, don't be begging no friends. So then he was saying whatever. So I'm like, okay, cool, true. Like, yeah, well, you know, all the best. Like, I'll hit you. Because he's like, oh, here's my number. Just take it. I remember you said you lived around here. So if you ever want to link up, like, we can meet, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, true. So he ends the conversation with, love you. So I was like, you really don't see, like, the thirst? To quote Nene Leakes, yo, the thirst is real. Like, this dude was on the next one. So then I go on, like I told you, I leave this window open because it has information that I reread, because it's a homeopathic, like, medicine that I'm looking up. And so I just always just double check, and I'm just rereading things because I'm still creating, like, this tincture. And so I happen to see, like, you know, I have, you know, some messages on this app, and I'm just like, okay, who messaged me? Because, like, I'm not thinking it's him. I knew who the other person was, and I was like, yeah, whatever. But I'm just like, okay, I see him, like, hey boo, how are you? Why are you calling me boo? Like, we don't know each other like that. I'm just like, this dude is so thirsty. And I'm like, all when I'm telling him, I'm not interested. Good day. Bye-bye, sir. Like, he's still on it. I was just like, what is wrong with you dudes? Like, women, like, we're in a pandemic. Y'all are out here, like, using this opportunity to pursue women. Like, you must think, like, women out here lonely like y'all and stuff like that. And I'm just like, it's a pandemic. Like, people are really, like, getting real sick. People are dying. you don't know what's gonna happen. Like I said, a lot of people are still out of work. You know, it's hard to really people are trying to like hustle and trying to make catch up, trying to like get whatever little money, keep things afloat. You know, this world, as much as we're not supposed to be price gouging, a lot of people, a lot of companies are still price gouging. It's really ridiculous. And I'm like, you're worried about like companionship? Because I don't even know if that's really what it is they're looking for, if they're just, you know what I mean? These still gonna be time wasters, still looking for someone to keep their bed warm, just things that I'm like should not be your top priority. And it's just a lot of stuff, and there's just a lot more, but I just said, I'm like, a lot of these dudes are just, and I just said, for the way they move and the misogyny they spew, and the way they're always on this bros before hoes, and this constant, like, the way they act like they don't need women, and women are a problem in society, and all this stuff. I'm just like, the way you guys talk about us and treat us, you know, you would have no idea that you guys really, really feel like you need us. Because you know, at the end of the day, you do need us. But this is just something that I've been noticing. I've just been noticing like a lot of thirsty dudes. Like I said, you know, you could be wearing the full mask, hoodie, all kinds of stuff, you know, just be completely curving them like constantly. And they're still like, let me get in, let me get in, let me get in. So I'm just like, they're just like, keep trying. So I don't know if this is something that only I've been experiencing or something that other women can relate to and that they have been experiencing. So just hit me up, let me know in the comments below if, you know, you've been noticing the thirst during the quarantine as well. Share your stories with me, as I'd love to read it and like laugh and just be able to just be like, yeah, like But yeah, and don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it. Thank you for watching. Bye.